deep and substantial instincts on how to build women in our society. And this week, we are going to discuss about the women representation in politics. Women representation in politics. And with me, I have a guest who is a social media influencer, an analyst, as well as an advocate for gender balance, Miss Alima Gigeli. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Women, the rates of women in politics recently in the last 6 years has globally increased, and the minimum participation has become a development policy in the nation. And yet, there are some people that will still talk about why is it even matter for women to be in any political space. So, my first question is, who are the women in politics? My first question on this topic today: who are the women in politics?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for having me on this wonderful program. And it's a privilege and a proud thing to be a woman as well. But then, before we talk about the women in politics, we all know that there's this belief that people feel that women's place is in the kitchen. They believe that we are meant to take care of the family, we're meant to take care of the community, and all. But then, even before the rate at which women start to involve themselves in politics, it didn't really catch the attention of people because their mentality was still so imbibed in them that they are just meant to be at home. But then, we have so many rules that are just perfect for the women folks that even the male can't do much in those roles. And then when it's time for selection process, it becomes kind of very hard to get women to come forward. And when you get women to come forward, before you know it, they're going to use one belief or the other, and they're going to kind of depress that woman. And before you know it, you just realize that the percentage at the beginning of the whole selection process is very high, and at the end of the selection process, you literally might not even find any women again. And everybody will be like, but during the campaign, during the election process, you see them, and everybody will keep asking questions. And this has been going on and on and on for a very long time. So even as a young woman who believes so much in the power of other women in offices or for their own political representation, we can actually point out women that are really representing. Because before you know it, even if they are being elected within a short while, we will have one issue or the other in the political space, and it will just put them off their feet. And so it calls for concern. Even some that were in offices as at the beginning of, let me say, 2019 election and administration, we all know that most of them had already been told to go home, or maybe their tenure had ended, and they are yet to be replaced to date. So, honestly, one cannot really point out a large number of women in the political environment and atmosphere, both from the legislative, the executive, and even the judiciary. So, it's just that.
Maybe before we go to the next question, I would like to read a short citation about our guest. Ms. Alima Gigeli was born on the 1st of February in the 90s, had her secondary school education at the prestigious First Female School, Queen Elizabeth Secondary School in Kwara State for her junior secondary school, before she proceeded to Model Secondary School for her senior school education. She later batched a bachelor's degree in microbiology from the University of Ilorin, Kwara State. She started Alima Nigeria Limited in 2019 as a company with interest in mentorship, event planning, project management, and ready-made clothing for baby girls after identifying the need to use the Nigerian-made fabric for creative casual and work dresses. In 2016, she became the youngest parliamentarian at the Nigerian Youth Parliament National Assembly Abuja as the Kwara Central representative after she was nominated for her outstanding record in voluntary youth and women development as well as entrepreneurship. She is a development enthusiast and self-motivated entrepreneur with strong management and outstanding creative and analytical skills with demonstrated ability to plan, start, coordinate and complete projects. With more than 7 years of experience in volunteering the development processes and involved in creation and development of new opportunities with project management, she has special interest in humanitarian service, value addition, problem solving opportunity, passion, community development, youth and women inclusion in politics, digital marketing, scaling small businesses and mentorship. She is currently the director of program for One Charity Youth Development, an NGO that has interest in girl child education, youth development, women development advocacy, campaign against gender-based violence, and medical outreach. This is just a short view about our guest, Ms. Alima Kekele, who is the Director of Program, One Charity Youth Foundation. Thank you. The second question is, why does it matter if women become political leaders?
It's a very important thing because it matters a lot for our social economic development. As a matter of fact, it is the social civil right to participate in every selection process, in every active political participation that leads to developmental purpose. It also helps to also achieve the sustainable development goals. We really need women in that part. So I see no reason why we shouldn't allow women to do their thing, because for me personally, I have a belief that the way a woman is going to handle representation is far different from the way a man will handle it. We have this belief that as we are, as young as a female child is, she is already seen as a mother. The motherly care is already imbibed in us right from our young age. We need to care for our siblings, we need to care for our extended family, we need to care for people around us. Everybody wants to, as a young woman growing up, that teaching and learning process is always nurturing you for future, family, and all. So it's already, the leadership thing starts right from home, especially when you even get the right set of people to nurture you as a child growing up into adults and all. So I see no reason why I will have people I've been taking care of for a long time, and then there will be a political representation and I won't be able to do far better. Then I'll be able to point out where the problem lies, be it in the family, be it in the community, be it in the society, and I'll be able, as a woman who is to represent, I'll be able to tell where exactly we are having problem as women, because I know better. It's something that is directly affecting me. So I feel that it's just like somebody saying that a director for women affairs ended up to be a man, and you'd be like, why is a man the director of women affairs, or maybe commissioner for women affairs? We have it in some places like that, and we keep on asking questions. Is it that women are not there, or is it that they are not allowing them to? But when you go deep down, like you dig deep down, you realize that there are a lot of factors that is affecting women participation and their representation when it comes to politics. Sometimes you even hear of women that are doing great when it comes to representation, even if it is not political. But one way or the other, a lot of factors will also stop them from that zeal and passion they started with. Some start with marriage. Most of the time, you see young women doing great things when it comes to representation. And by the time they get married, family talks, before you know it, it's gone. And sometimes even the religion and cultural beliefs. Sometimes they feel that we don't have the physical power to really engage in this offices. There is a saying that all the man can do better. Now we have female pilots, we have female engineers, we even have sailors. We keep on evolving every day. So I see no reason why it wouldn't matter to anybody out there that's female and male when it comes to political and representation.
Thank you, Ma. If you are just joining us, who are tutorial with Ms. Alima Kekele, the Director of Program for Charity Youth Development. Thank you for your insights on the top question of who is after so many years of feminist struggle on the rights of women to vote and hold political position. How women stay obstructed from full participation in politics?
Let me say that in recent times it has been seen that women actively support each other. Let's take it like that. In fact, things we see all around us and
Men and they support each other.
yes, they actively support each other. If not for understanding civilization and way things are evolving, that we women are not trying to realize that we really need to support ourselves to get to this places we are vying for and we are clamoring for. You see, even feminists, yes, they have a lot of activities they indulge in, they have a lot of things they clamor for and all that, but then it is not every woman that wants to be a feminist. So, if I mean a feminist, and I'm not a feminist, and your ideology is different from mine, your understanding is different from mine, how am I going to support you? Let's be factual. I'm not going to do something that is against my own.
Before you go, I want to remove the definition of feminism. Remove the definition. Aside from the definition that really was coming up with. Like I want you to just expand more on the real definition of feminism.
Well, the same reason why you wouldn't want to talk about feminism,
It's
it's actually the same reason why I wouldn't want to also talk about feminism, because I'm always careful when it comes to issues of feminism. We all have different understanding when it comes to feminism.
Yes.
And to some extent, when I was, when I was just starting this whole volunteering thing, my idea of feminism is trying to at least bring other women to understand the need why they should participate actively in political process, even not only political process, the need for you to develop yourself, the need for you to be able to do something for yourself, the need for you to be able to give back, yes, make impact, thinking, growing up and saying things, especially on social media, you see that there is a really of toxicity when it comes to some of this feminism thing, and it gets some of us now willing to withdraw and be like, so you can't call me and tell me you're a feminist. I'll be like, no, it's two different things. So then it depends on one's understanding of feminism. So I really don't talk too much about feminism because I don't want to go there.
Wow, that's good. The first question, you already said like women need to support each other. And the first question here is, once elected to the office, will women represent women? Once elected, will they represent women?
Well, before we went further in the whole discussion, I didn't want to really talk about the other country. When you said we should talk about Kwara State as a whole, well, it's not like I know everybody that is in the government, but at least some of the young people that I know, because those women that are even in the political offices now, they are not all young. We have our mothers there. And the only young person we can point out at this moment is Mrs. Alta Ali. And she trained excellently well. For me, personally, I'm going to give her that because that she's doing well. And considering one of our last recent activities, which was the Kwara Trade Fair, most of the people they were women. And we saw videos, we saw how people put in so much energy to, come around, sell their stores, market, and those that were able to get the whole positive thing out of it were able to get things. But that is a clear example of a woman supporting other women in our own community, using our own office. Even before then, she had been doing one thing or the other. Every one of us had been doing one thing or the other in our own capacity to at least support each other. Yes, it's not easy. There will be clash of interests. There will be issues. Yes, there's no way that there isn't issues. But you see, this thing is not just in Kwara State, it is everywhere. It is everywhere. And I feel like it takes a whole lot of understanding to know that there is a need for us to support each other. Because if we don't support each other, is it the men that we are saying they are not allowing us to do our thing when it comes to representation that wants to support us? So I just feel that we need more understanding, we need more sensitization, we need more coordination and love to start to think in the direction that is a very important thing for women to support each other. But I just pray we get to understand that better.
Okay, thank you so much, my question. In the study of plastics, it's your own understanding and to what you gathered so far. The representation, women representation in plastic political space, how can you compare it to other states?
Aside the fact that we know that when it comes to grassroots politics, women are always at the top of that game. But then, due to one factor or the other, at the end of the selection process, we start to wonder, oh, these women that we were seeing during the election, where are they? But to compare and contrast, this present administration started with the need for shaping and inaugural favors, and all we know is they were also was sacked or resigned or I don't know what happened then because I can't really tell what really happened. But then compared with other states, I can still tell that at least we at the beginning of the administration we were far ahead. But now we are back to zero because the representation for women is not as high as what it was last year. And we don't even have our commissioners complete in the offices. We don't even have our SSs complete in the office. So one cannot even tell the actual number of women that are representing. The only two person that I know that represents is Natalie because I think she's doing something that she's always on her faces, and the tertiary education, that is yes. So those are the only two women that I can easily say, oh, I know they are in government. And
What about other commissioners? Because we have the former commissioner for it, Ariola,
but she's
the
still there.
not the water, rather. So she was the water.
That was formal. That's why I'm saying that before we had a large number of representation that even called for awards. I had award was named for that for the leadership representation. But after that first year, now what do we have? We're back to zero. So what's the point of the first knowledge we made and we can't keep up to the expectation? Like we had set up the kind of legacy that we expected other states to at least invite and follow. But no, we went back to the old way, which should be. Yes, there is young representation now compared to what it used to be before us, mostly our mothers. But then that was with the help of not young to run with that made it possible for people in the 20s, in the early 30s to be elected in the offices. And yes, that was the knowledge that started from the beginning of this administration, and we had people in their 20s being elected. But now, how many do we have? We can't really compute points that we have. It's only one person that is still in appointments that is there. Every other person, that's for those that you don't know, those that you don't know. They are not even in their heads, it's not just one.
In this regard, we are still on the case study of plastic. Who do you think is faulty, the old faulty? Is it the women that they have failed to represent themselves in their several positions that were given to them the former last year, in the best era of them in the office? Is it the women that failed to represent themselves properly that led to why they are not being appointed to office? Or
I told you, when it comes to selection process, a lot of factors considered. Factors that you would say that, I don't know if you had something about government inside government. Government inside government. Because, you know, when it comes to government, they put a lot of things into consideration, ranging from the political party to the zoning, and then before they now, back in the days, before they even think about your intellectual capacity, they want to know your involvement and participation in politics. And for a young person, it's very hard for you to just come from nowhere, even with all your intellectual capabilities, and say you just want to get there. It's not really, it's very hard because they feel like, when did you just go, oh my god, I'm line up at the back. That's usually what they used to be. But then with the help of social media, with the help of the technology, the digital media, and not too long to run with, and the fact that they used to realize that our voices need to be heard and we need to be represented by people of our age range. That was what even brought out the people in government thinking in our own direction to use it, let us start appointing them. Now it is one thing to get appointed, it's another thing to be able to make sure you live up to expectation beyond expectation. So it is one thing to go and represent, it's another thing to represent well. So, for example, we are saying because it is politics, and because of party politics, because of zoning, we went to go and pick someone that never even volunteered, that never even represented. You see, it goes a long way when in leadership development. You just don't stand up one day and say you want to become a leader. It takes a lot of developmental process. Most of the leaders out there, when you hear the stories, they're already young leaders, aside from maybe their primary education to the secondary school, to even when they were in universities, that held one position or the other. I'm not saying that it's everybody that have that sincerity of purpose, and then they do it just, some actually just do it because they want to be one. But if you really believe that you're a good leader, and you want to develop yourself, I believe that it is not just a day process. It takes a whole lot of volunteering, it takes a whole lot of experience for you to be able to lead people. I'm not saying you, because the difference between a leader and a leader. So when you're able to lead and you make impact, you add value to people, you have people believe in your strength and be like, no, when this person was there, she did this, she did that. It is a different ballgame for you to then get appointed. And it's a very hard so you wouldn't have any program representing. So let's compare somebody that never held any purpose, that even very fast acting was never in the history of the person. And you just bring up the person and make such person a commissioner, or you make such person a special senior assistant. One of the problems we keep on having in Nigeria, let's even forget about the political participation. One of the problems we have is political parties. Once a new party comes in, they forget about the old party, the developmental process. They forget about it. They want to start something new. Yes. And that is what is killing us day by day. So now, for example, there's a new political party. There are young people that are in another different other political parties that have the capability, they have the leadership skills to make things work. But because of their ideology that they are not in the right political party, they don't get to appoint them in strategic positions that will even help grow the economy. So tell me, if we keep on doing this, how do we get to develop ourselves? Everybody is growing, nobody is going to stay put at 20s, not so of 30s. So if we keep on doing this, and we keep on neglecting that there are people out there that they are doing perfectly well, because they don't belong to your own ideology or group, they don't want to tap into their house. So we keep on losing a whole lot of things, They even make it so bad to the point that as an appointee, you are not expected to be seen with other people of other political parties, even if they are your friends. You must not be seen with them. Because before you know it, you say maybe you're snitching on their party. There's a lot of mentality, a lot of wrong notion that people bring up. And I feel that when it comes to leadership, you need to work closely with people that know better than you do. You need to learn from both the old, the young, the people in fair complexion, dark complexion. Your own is to learn and put it into use. But there's no point representing without you making any impact. So it happens, it's everywhere. So I just pray that things get better and we get to have a better understanding of what it means that it's not until when somebody is in a political party that you make use of their resources or you make use of their intellectual capabilities. We all need to work hand in hand to make things better.
Thank you, Ma. If you are just joining us, who has to speak about is Miss Halima Agege, who is a grant and director of program for Grant Charity Foundation. And Miss Halima in 2016 happens to be the young parliamentarian at the National Youth Parliament, Nigerian Youth Parliament at the National Assembly in Abuja in 2016. Thank you. Other than I think that contribute to women participation, low participation in politics, aside from women not supporting each other, we have family issue, even tribe, religion. Like, what do you have to say about this? Like, if this keep increasing, like, we keep having low participation in politics, political process, then what do you have to say about this?
Well, aside the fact that there's, aside the women not supporting each other, when it comes to religion and cultural belief, there's something important. I can't stand up today and say I want to change the cultural belief now. And I can't stand up today and say I want to change the religious beliefs of the person. What it takes is really better understanding of all these beliefs and how we can use them positively. And the thing is, it is not all cultural or religious belief that is negative. It's just that many of us we are not just getting it right. Yes, there's a lot of misinterpretation. And when I see beliefs that doesn't support women leading, I rather advise, I always say this anyway, that if you belong to a cultural group or a religious belief that says you cannot lead as a person, then you can be the assistant. There's nothing wrong in being the assistant, as far as you are not there. So if the other person is not actually, you can represent as the assistant. And from there, you still gather the knowledge you need. You still represent females actively. This is stop you. And then many people also believe family issues. They believe that as a woman, the moment you want to venture into activity for representation or participation, you don't have time for the family. How can I, as a woman, be in the issue that I am cooking? Many of us, we do a lot of multitasking. We cook, we wash plates, we sweep the floor, we wash plates. Because I can put my dirty clothes in the laundry, in the washing machine, it's washing. I won't stand there till the washing is, till they stop washing the clothes. And already, I know the time is there. You can put food on fire. You can still decide that let me do the dishes. Many of us multitask to that point. But then is it that we spend our whole 24 hours inside the kitchen? No. So why is it hard for people to understand that being in active participation and representation does not stop you from doing what you're expected to do as a woman? So it is just a whole lot of misconception. And then another thing is, let's be factual. We should talk to ourselves. Yes, there are some ladies, when they get into active participation, they get so much into their head. And they tend to unique reasons why they don't have time to do this, they don't have time for the families. I want to tell this set of people that please, if you find yourself in this kind of position, you need to change because you are not like a role model to young people that are coming up. And if you keep doing things that will discourage other young families or families that they have young people, young women, that they have good prospect when it comes to access to participation, you are not helping the real situation. That is another thing. Then there is another problem with women carrying themselves. Sometimes when they get into this offices, they tend to be like, it's normal. So it's not going to happen. Self-esteem issues and all that to see yourself start to get into your head. But for those that don't do such, it is also up to us as young people that are growing to be able to manage situations when it comes to working closely with women in communities. And some people they keep on, kind of complaining that she shouts at them, she does this, she does that. It happens in offices. Even our others that men, we shout at us once in a while. The work pressure will always be there. But then, for we have individual differences, and there's a need to understand that, and there's a need to manage it. So if we are able to do all these things, I don't think there is any reason to. In fact, it doesn't really need to be a political space, yes. There's a lot of representation we can do. And there are a lot of women doing wonderfully well in parastatals, in banks. They are managing directors, they are directors of very strategic places. They don't even about politics. But the only problem is that politics takes the show everywhere, in every country. And so people are really seeing the other women, the other parastatals doing women in other sectors. Women doing women in IT sectors. Do you understand? So, aside the family belief, aside the cultural, aside the religious belief, we also have this thinking of physical strength. They just feel that as a woman, they don't have the strength to do active representation. And that is the one that I don't get to do. That is the only belief. Yes, we all have a different religious belief, we all have a different cultural belief. But one of the physical strength, why would you say that as a woman that is always in the kitchen, you one thing or the other, using an energy? And what's there in being an office there to write, brainstorm? Which energy am I using more when it comes to working in home, doing home chores, and which energy am I using more? And compared to the olden days that we don't even have appliances that helps with chores. If now that have those things that help us save time, maybe things are getting better. But the way people just understand that concept things just because they don't want it to favor the men folks. They know how to change the region. They know how to change everything just to make sure that women are just holding on to it and be like. The last election that happened in some places, especially on social media, women that came out in large numbers that wanted to contest. Trust me, because they said from the day every year, their names were not on the ballot paper. Some did not find their names there. It wasn't even printed. For people that collected forms, that registered at the municipal level and all that. And I think women, we are always there to do sensitization, to campaign, to do this, to do that. And at the end of the day, they just sideline us. And this keeps on happening all the time. And I think when we reach an agreement to say, okay, please stop doing this to us, I say, no problem, we want you, don't worry. They'll still do it over and over again. So the question is, how are we also going to help ourselves to stop stuff like this, especially when it comes to political participation? You see them, they come up with laws, they come up with call to actions in different. I'm not involved in any party politics. Me, my own is just to do my own thing and follow whoever I believe is or when it comes to leadership. I admire a lot of people. But maybe it's because I joined a non-governmental organization here, and it made me to see a lot of cracks and faults in our political participation, honestly. Because even as a person that you are in a political party, you see them doing something wrong, but because you're part of that political party, you can't even say it out. Because before you know it, they'll say you are selling out the party. You are washing the dead millions of the party in public. There will not talk and misconception. So, what's the point? What's the point of joining a political party when I know that they will not allow me to say my voice out there? So it's better to actually stay on your own. Do your talk, do your sensitization, orientate people around you. Let them see that you are making impact in the best way you can. And it's just like you're dropping. You can't change the world as a person. It's beyond you to change the world as an individual. The best thing you can do is just like you people around you. Just make sure that you do something, and that's how it keeps on going. Those people to make sure they keep on sensitizing and talking to people around them. That's the best thing we can do. But as for religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, just wait, there's nothing we can do about that. We can only make use of the understanding we have and use it positively to achieve our goals so that our voice can be heard.
Thank you, Ma. Even with the rate of women presently that has increased globally, we still have low participation. And there's some women that you feel like, come and join this, come and do this. They'll be like, no, I can't do it. It's not meant for me. It's meant for men to do. So should you regard this as laziness, or what could be the reason why they keep declining at home? There are women, not just women out there, but all they do is like, once I graduated, the next thing for me is to get married.
Well, it's not everybody that feels that way. And I don't blame many people out there. I believe that as an individual, we all need a push. And when I say push, it's just like we have a lot of young people out there, and they have hidden talents, they have opportunities around them to tap into it. But they don't have the guidance. Nobody to counsel them, nobody to talk to them, nobody to have them see that, oh, this thing you can actually do it and make impact. So some people don't believe they can make impact on their own. Just believe that it has to be somebody somewhere out there. The little you can do as a person already making impact. If it is to bring in the children in your community, to start teaching them extra curricular activities. There is a need for thorough guidance and counseling. There is a need for thorough sensitization. There is a need for thorough self-development and orientation. We need different trainings that's going to bring people together. And it's not just training that just sit down and keep on lecturing people. Even our educational system does not help when it comes to self-development. We just go to school literally. So you even challenge your lecturer and say, this is not it. It's a problem. You can't even challenge people like that. To say, oh, I want to know better. Teach me properly. Some people just enter the balance and the balance of the blah, 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 copy notes and they leave. And then they're giving a test. Some lecturers that they can't even confront them, say, I don't understand this. You'll be like, that's your cup of tea. You're not the only one in the class. We see these things. So imagine a child that comes from a family that cannot even talk to her parents to say this is the problem. There are a lot of families, there are a lot of young babies out there that they can't even sit to talk to their mothers, not to talking to their fathers. So they end up going to the children, and most of them they take advantage of them, and that is where the story ends.
You're saying that family is the most important cause of
no, like I'm not saying they are the problem, but I'm saying
I'm trying to get what I'm saying. What I mean is, it all started from home. Like giving your child, your daughter, the access to talk to you, to have a mutual relationship. Like she can come to you anytime. Like this is what's going on. If that is not happening in you, that's the time.
Then so another thing is the ratio of teachers to students is the difference is very wide. So for a teacher that also has a problem from home, how many students do you want them to even give evaluations? Teachers that are problem to teach and also waiting to go to attend to others. Some other people, they have businesses, they have a whole lot of things they want to do. So there is a need to bring up activities that is going to involve young people, to help them manage and save their time, to help them spend quality time to the learning process. Now, learning shouldn't just be in the classroom. Even down to our traditional leaders in our different communities, they have a whole lot to do. It's not just about sitting down on the throne saying you are king, you are this, you are that. You need to do something in your community to make sure that there is active participation of young people in developmental processes. But these things they don't happen anymore. Growing up, there used to be serious environmental sanitation, strict rules attached to it. For example, everybody on that very day, we all know we are cleaning the house. That is a gender. Do you understand? This is, at this point, the elderly ones are supervised with their own intellect and intelligence. The young people are not using their own energy because they have much more energy to clean and do that. In the process of giving you those things, there will still be something to talk about. They will teach you things. oh, do it this way, oh, do it this way, oh, they only did it, we do it this other way, but now there's a lot of things, there's a lot of ways to teach people. But if you don't involve them in activities to bring them together in the first place, there's no point. See, they don't get together, they just go to school, come back, then they indulge themselves in activities that are worthless, that are useless to them. Because there's no activity to them. Back in those days, when I was in secondary school, I remember very well that there is always one competition or the other between two groups. So there is not much time to even, you are always preparing to compete with one school or the other. Either be it sports, either be it quiz, either be debate. How many of these things are still happening? Even when it comes to town hall meetings, how many states, how many senatorial districts are doing town meetings? So how many people have time, even ask, and as a political leaders to say, let's do this decentralization. Let's see, it's not only about political participation. Even when it comes to health, even when it comes to home training, there is nothing we cannot do trainings on. But because nobody cares, people don't care anymore. They just want to go there, say I did this, I did that, and they forget about the people they are even representing. So, and the thing keeps on, it's just like a circle, round and round and round, without giving any impact. And the other generation are coming up to see the same thing, and they are also going in that same process. Even if you come to say you want to do something, they can say, "Yeah, that's not how we used to do it, though. This is the way it has been." And many people don't even want to change it. So how do we get there? How are we going to get out of it? Not many people are not thinking about to get out of it. Everybody just want to stay in that cycle. Going round and round and round. And it's not helping. So I'm going to just use this opportunity to urge traditional leaders, community leaders, our teachers, our parents, people at political offices that are holding strategic positions that their voices make the world. If they clamor for active representation, if they clamor for good advocacy, if they clamor for activities that are going to bring young people together, then they're going to help train the young folks, especially the young women. And they also have to sensitize our parents and guidance to say, look, the fact that the woman wants to be in active representation does not stop her from being a good wife, does not stop her from being a good mother. Yeah, like, we'll have a long way to go. But if everybody keeps the mentality of stay in the kitchen, stay in the kitchen, talk, we're going to
Back to your whole personal experience during your university days. Like I read from your bill, not here, but I read that you wrote this. You was one of the Senate presidents for your for the faculty and doing back in the what is the challenges, maybe positive or negative, right from your family's perspective and into the other people too? What was all the challenges, the positive and the negative that this thing has on your stand there as a student in woman participating in student unionism?
Well, for me, I didn't really have a lot of challenge. Yes, when I was in school, every student had one challenge or the other. But to me, the problem I had in school then, I turned into something positive for myself. Because I realized that the more you dwell on a particular problem, you're not getting solutions to it, then you need to move ahead. So when I realized I had a particular problem, I felt like, what other thing can I do to keep myself busy and not to just get depressed in this particular issue I have? And so I decided to, yes, I've been a volunteer for a very long time. As far back as when I was in primary school, I was part of the Girls Guide. I did camping as young as age 6, 7. I was already out there, you know. I help in community development processes. I help in activities that's just about development. So it has always been part of me. So when I was in undergrad level, I joined the committee to help organize anything that was coming up in the department, yes. So, and I had seniors that I knew right from my secondary school, and then, come help with this, come help with that. And after that, they appreciated us, gave us the certificate. And the second year, I said, oh, I've always loved the legislative arm of government. I have always loved the time. And so I said, okay, I think I should be a senator. And I became the senator, and they made me the clerk. I contested with male counterparts. I've never had any scenario where I contested with a female. I've always been with the male. And I will always beat them. If I got to a point, not to brag or anything, if they hear that I'm contesting, they did drop their phone and get another goal. Yes, they got to that extent because it's with sincerity of purpose. I'm not just going there just for myself. I felt that I could make impact in my own little way. And it's something that is in me. It's not, it has always been there right from when I was young. So I always have flair for volunteerism. Anything that I feel that is going to make impact on another person's life, I always want to do it. Add value in the best way I can. So from there, at my 300 level, I became the vice president in my department. So as of then, I had already gotten into parliament. How did I get into parliament? It was through volunteering. I was volunteering for the State Ministry of Youth and Sports for a very long time. So even before I got into the race, I started in my secondary school. So I just go for programs, youth programs, they call me for things I do, volunteering, treating act. That was it. And so they just nominated me. It was the ministry that nominated me. I sat for exam, I passed, and that was how I got into the parliament. So it's for me, I felt that I had gotten into the parliament. I don't know if I was already at the national level. Let me allow others to do the school politics thing. Then there was another mentality when we were in school. Everybody wants to serve at the faculty or SUG. So once they get the opportunity to, nobody wants to serve at the department because there's no money. You don't get any salary, nothing. You're only just to do your job volunteering. Sometimes you even have to use your own personal money to run events for the department before money is now reduced to you later. Because everybody that will pay to this place at the home, you understand. So these things really helped me with my self-development process. And I said to myself, it's not even about the money. Volunteer is not just about the money. Many people will volunteer without getting paid. This is something that will happen with me. So I did it voluntarily, not like because I knew there was no money. So on the long run, my 300 level, I said I'm not interested in student politics today. Let other people do it. So at that point, I was nominated to be a senator at the SUG to represent my faculty. And I told them, I said there's no point because I'm already a young honorable at the National Assembly, Nigerian Parliament. There are a lot of people. So then I had one or two friends that already, inspired by things like this. I'm interested. Go for it. So one of them became senator. So by my final year, I'd already had experience in the legislative, already had with the executive. So they needed somebody to become the Senate president. Usually nobody was coming out. So I didn't say anything at all. Election passed, nothing happened. All the other offices were taken for the Senate president. Because there was nobody that had the experience to take it up at the department. So the other old students came and they said, you have to do it. Those that were leaving school, and they gave it to me unopposed without election. That was the way I became the first female Senate president. And it's more of, even the voluntary you are doing at that level is much more than what you did do when it comes to the executive. Because in the executive, your own is to make things done, do activities, orientation for others. But this one, when it comes to Senate president, you are checkmating everything that is happening right from the 100 to the final year. And it is a lot of much more work. There's a lot of conflicts with other executives because they feel that you don't want to give them this free space. So I have to do it for not really. I just have to do it. And I remember that our president was a guy, and we were always clashing because he never held any post. He just became president due to the fact that he was a scholar then, he was a scholar, and everybody was a lovable person, and it was easy for him to get that position. And we had a lot of issues. I kept on telling him, whenever we are in meeting, you don't have the experience. That's why you feel it should be done. No, you don't do it this way. I'm not saying you shouldn't bring new things, but you don't just come up with projects. So, but on the long run, I realized it was a great learning process for me. Because at that time, I was already at the National Assembly. I was doing my sit-ins. I was learning what it means to be a senator, to be a honorable representing your constituency. So imagine using that kind of understanding and learning to use it at the departmental level and the first female senator. So from there, I get a lot of young people that got inspired about it, and I have a pool of mentees that are also trying their own best way to actively represent wherever they find themselves. And it's something that is worthy and it's very interesting. And so most of the time I don't even think about the challenges anymore. Because for me those challenges became something that yes turned to opportunity for me, and it was put into positive use. You know, it's like I said earlier, individual difference really matters. The way you are going to see something in the positive or negative way is different from the way I see something. We might both be looking at something that is negative and I did bring something positive out of it. It depends on our individual differences. So I have used my own individuality to process something that is negative to turn it into something positive. So it is there for other people to see that way. So the fact that something is bad, I can actually see something good in that thing that is bad and I'll make use of it, and everybody will be like, but this thing is bad. So how come, it's just we just all have to, we just have to think, we just have to be creative, we just have to use our intellect, and that's just because that was all.
You keep saying make that up for me.
Yes, I was praying, I'm busy praying. I really need it. So I feel there's nothing easy. You don't need to pray. So I feel that if we go back and forth on these things, even if we do the talking, if we don't act it, there's no point. And there's a lot of talking everywhere. Nobody is acting it. And those are some people that have the opportunity to act it. You don't have the resources. So it is always one thing or the other. There's always one thing that is stopping one person or two persons from doing something. But then I always advise people to just do something. Start from somewhere. Just don't wait till you have the money. In the process of looking for solutions to problems, you definitely need people that have the resources, but they don't have the time. So if you're lucky enough to meet somebody that you want to do something that you want to do, has the resources but doesn't have the time, you have the time to do it. You can just work that day and you make things happen. So that's it.
Thank you. What we've been talking on this morning is women participation in politics and representation. Yes, ma'am, to cover this all because we're about to round it up already. What do you, with your involvement in development so far, how do you think we can increase participation, women participation in politics?
One, I always tell people we need a whole lot of push and encouragement from our home, from people around us, from our leaders as well. The fact that a young person is growing up, starting to learn, you shouldn't feel intimidated. There's always time for everybody. We all shine differently. Nobody's going to dim anybody's lights. So don't think you can reign forever. You're not God. You can't reign forever. So we need to understand that there is time for everybody to shine. So if you are doing your own shining, that nobody's shopping.
Shine.
Yeah, shine. My shine cannot show up. Don't shine. I shine my shine. You shine my shine. That's how the moon and the sun. The sun shines differently. The moon too, in the night, does its thing. So nobody is stopping the other. But we have this mentality that somebody is coming up, instead of you to support that person, to help grow the person and make a whole lot of changes. You start getting intimidated, the old is getting intimidated of the young, the women too, they are getting intimidated, she's the only one, instead of them to support, instead of you to learn from that person. If she's the only one, then move closer and learn why she's the only one. Do you understand? But no, it's not everybody that is thinking that way. Then I also want to say something that no matter how far we might have gone in the wrong direction, it is never too late to turn back and start all over again. That's something I learned from one of my mentors, Mr. Sojoya Way. And it has really helped me a whole lot when it comes to self-development and anywhere I find myself. So even if I see that there's something going in the wrong way, we can always start it over again and make changes. It's up to us. It's up to us.
Thank you so much for your submission on our topic this week, Women's Equalities and Representation. Debra, thank you for taking out of your time this week to join us on this week episode. Any society that fails to harness the energy and creativity of its women is at a huge disadvantage in the modern world. So let's try and develop and empower our women to participate more in politics. Join us next week for another episode of this program.